Thank you, AJ. I really appreciate you submitting this ticket. First thing first, always assign a ticket to yourself so you can get credit for it. You don't want somebody else to be working on this ticket as well or take it from you while you're already, working on it. So AJ's ticket is about Office 365 issue, and it says not able to open my mailbox. So there are few reasons for this, and depending on whether you are using the web version or the desktop installed one or PC installed version of Outlook. Let's see what we can do about this. The main issue here is, for me personally, is that my Office 365 for business license for educational purposes, and it's technically a business license, has expired. So I can no longer use Outlook on my computer because those licenses expired. And but I've made tons of these Office 365 videos as well. But that's okay. Here is a free version of Outlook online that is available. Now, uh, I wish AJ was a little bit more specific on what kind of error that is. So whenever you get an issue where it's vague like this, you need more information. So what we're going to have to do is first, we're going to have to contact the customer, in this case AJ, and ask for more information. We're going to say, hello, this is Irvin with help desk. I have your ticket about not able to open mailbox. Can you please send me a screenshot of the error? So you can ask them what is the error, and they can try to explain to you what the error is, and that's fine. But if you ask for a screenshot, you can actually see what the error is. So this is where I'm going to this is what I'm going to start with. Now, I will talk about potential issues. I will talk about what the potential issues may be in regards to this. However, we don't know exactly what the error is, or if there is any clue to exactly why not able to open my mailbox. Because as far as I know, it could be license not working, it could be internet not working, it could be some kind of local data corruption, a local catch, I don't know, that people might get, which is, you have to reset in this case. Anyways, we're going to go through all of these things, but we, for sure, when working help desk, we need to know what the screenshot is, what the error is, so that way we can go about that, because the errors are there for a reason. They will give you an idea, and a really good idea of what the issue might be, because they'll be very specific. Or if it's just simply just frozen. AJ might come back and say it's just frozen. Well, in that case, it could be something local on the computer too. So one of the main issues that could cause a mailbox to not open could be simply that they ran out of space. So if you're somebody who uses Outlook for business at work, there might be a limit of how much space is allowed for your inbox, or what's also known as a folder. It's simply storage. Allow allocated storage for your inbox. So the more stuff that populates in here, the more it takes up. This is especially true when there are attachments. There are attachments in the emails that will add up quickly. So if you have somebody sending you big Excel files, some kind of, I don't know, some kind of forms, databases, any attachments, pictures, as far as I know, this could add up quickly if you don't have enough space. This can also happen within the calendar in Outlook. So if you go inside of Outlook and look at the calendar, you will have invitations that are created. For example, let's say you have a weekly meeting or even a daily meeting that you go to, those daily meetings may have attachment. For example, things we're going to talk about in today's meeting, and there's an Excel attachment. I don't know. All these things can add up to a lot of space, which can take up your inbox unless you archive them. Unless you create an archive file, which is also known as PST. So, not to be confused with OST. So, if you have Outlook installed, now this is just a web version of it. So, we can't recreate a PST file, which is a local archive file that goes onto your computer. This is a web version, which also creates a temporary location for the inbox, but it's inside your web browser, cached somewhere else. So, inbox is called OST, and that's a temporary solution. It also gets downloaded to your computer, but if you delete it on your computer, it doesn't matter because it's still stored on the server itself. PST, which is the archive like this here, is not. It's usually stored locally, and it's called a .pst extension, and that might be if you delete it, it's gone. This might be a little bit different with Outlook. We can certainly see if they have changed the way that they are storing archives. So if you run out of space, now we know what to do is to create archives and remove stuff, delete stuff from your inbox or your calendar. So how do we know if this person has enough space to keep getting more emails? Because keep in mind that could be the main issue here. If you run out of space on inbox, no new emails will come through. Nothing will come through because there's not enough space, right? There's not enough space. It's like trying to shove more things into your backpack when there's not enough space. Let's say you're a mailman and you're trying to carry, all the mail that's coming through that people are sending, but you only have one bag and you can only fill it up to so much. That's kind of what the issue is here. All right, now let's look at how much an example in Exchange of just a random person of how much storage they might have. All right, so here we are in admin Exchange software program website. So this is basically where you check the mailbox sizes for recipients or users, if you will. And you can get to it a couple of different ways. You can simply type in adminexchange.microsoft.com if you have access to this stuff. Keep in mind when you do help desk, you may not have access to some of this stuff. But you can also get to the Exchange link through Microsoft 365 Admin Center, which is on the bottom here, where it just says Exchange. You click it, and then it just opens it up. So within Exchange Admin Center, select mailboxes. It's going to show people that I just have regular mailboxes, and I have, and I just clicked here on Bob Bobson as just a random person. If you click them, it's going to expand over here, and on the bottom right, you'll see exactly how much storage they have. Now, this is from whenever I set up Office 365 for educational purposes, when Microsoft gave me a license. So I just kind of set it up to have a maximum of, 49.5 gigabytes of space. But you can see how much is used out of 49 gigabytes. And here it's just 2.3 megabytes used out of 49.5 gigabytes. Now, giving somebody this big of a inbox is an overkill for somebody who is just takes regular emails. They're not somebody super important. So having 49, 0.5 gigabytes is a bit an overkill. But what if it's like 2 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes or 5 gigabyte limit? This is something you can reach. Any regular person working at a company can reach this limit within a year or two in an inbox. However, it's not unusual to see this size or even larger inbox for like a big time manager, like a big manager that's in charge of multiple groups or a director level or something like that, they'll probably have maybe even bigger storage amount because they get all the emails. They get all the emails most likely from all kinds of places. So if they're running out of space, this is where you can check to see if that's the issue. Again, unfortunately, we don't have exact idea of why mailbox is not opening, so we're still guessing at this point. Another reason, obviously, is you don't have connection. Well, first of all, you don't have network connection, so you may not be connected to either the VPN if you're working from home. If somebody's working from home and you support them, they may not be connected to VPN. That's another reason why it may not work. And let's see, what else could it be? I mentioned, the license expired, for which you have to go back into the Office 365, make sure that they have an Outlook license. I talked about this in a previous video. I highly suggest that you watch it because I have a specific error that I show in there. And it's not a super long video, so you can find it there, but it's definitely there, and you can certainly look at that. There's a screenshot of what happens when you don't have a license. So definitely watch that video if you're interested in that. Let's see, what else could it be? Not able to open my mailbox. Could also be that, could be as simple as your password expired. You no longer have access to it because, you can't log in. You can't log in. We don't know. We definitely need to see that screenshot from AJ. So that being said, I'm going to actually leave this open and hopefully hear back from AJ if he has it, and then touch back on this, which is perfectly fine. That will give us an example of what to do when somebody reaches back. If you have a way to contact AJ in this case, and if I had a phone number or something like that, then in work environment, I would have to call him and talk to him, or send him a message over instant messenger, whatever it is that they use. Just find a way to contact him, besides email, obviously. So I would get a hold of AJ and do this. Obviously, I'm not going to do that here because, first of all, I can't. And yeah, so we're just going to wait for him to respond. And hopefully he watches this video or gets an email. He should get an email notification from me through the system, because the system itself is system itself is sending you notifications through emails. So we're not going to close this or anything like that. We're just going to keep it open, and it's assigned to me. So that's fine. You can see here that if I click assign to me, that it's assigned to me. Nobody else can work on it, and it just says waiting for customer. Okay, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to leave it at that. And if you can think of anything else that I may have missed, then please let me know in the comments.